Oh, howdy, sports fans. Well, I'll be using this computer, but not this cell phone for doing these kind of videos. Also, it's a lot cooler in my sleeping chambers than it is where I'm usually doing it at because of the damn heat. You know, coming across as a Democrat trying to show party difference and trying to show how patriotic one person could be, rah rah rah, stick him in the knee, rah rah rah, stick him in the other knee. Well, the thing is, sometimes it just doesn't handle that way. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this. There you go. More comfortable, I think. Without it falling apart. No, I am not Jesus. I'm just getting the light right in front of there. I can't even do anything right. Give me a second, will you? I gotta change locations. Sorry about that, sports fans. As I said before, I try to go into the other bedrooms and actually the other parts of the living abode, and what do I find? Heat like crazy. And it's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts at this point over here because now I gotta talk down to a damn phone instead of something else. Because of the heat happening right now and the COVID-19 kicking ass, it seems certain things have to be dealt with, tolerated, only to a point. My last video was trying to explain what things I was going through, and quite frankly, while people were of the Democratic side were watching the parties, I was trying to get a little nap. Coming from a Democrat, I know it's probably sacrilegious, but hear me out on this one. I don't sleep very much, so I have issues. And in dealing with an apartment that deals strictly with heat issues and cooling issues, goes in one ear out the other ear with management, but started to pursue it anyway. Not to mention PG&E, not to mention Edison and CalISO are stating that we're going to have power outages and brownouts because we're using too much energy and we're taxing the system because we don't want to die of this damn heat. Now, how does this relate to the Democratic convention that I hadn't seen tonight? And only been reading reactions left and right. Be surprised at some of those reactions. To the extreme, Alice, to the extreme. And that's all it is extreme. I mean, there's no middle of the road. You know, a long time ago, I remember watching back in the 70s. And I was watching the political shows and the news and the talk shows and trying to absorb all this information, and it goes in one ear out the other ear because I didn't have any context of the situation. I mean, how's it 5 or 6 year old understand the McLaughlin Group or This Week with David Brinkley? And I had listened to David Brinkley a great deal before he retired, and George Stephanopoulos. And George is outstanding. He really is. This week, he does a pretty decent job on it. And then right before him, or actually right after him, or right after David Brinkley, was the McLaughlin Group, which was the conservative groups. Now, the thing of it is, I was always watching this back in the 70s and 80s. And I was watching it with my mother because my mother was, at the time, into politics. She would help out on some occasions. The rest of the time, talk politics with her friends. She really didn't work with the parties all that much. But she did gather news regarding both sides to get their viewpoints. So that's why we would watch David Brinkley and we would watch the McLaughlin Group. And a lot of those characters on there Well, they pursued other positions. Some of them actually pursued politics. There's so many characters on there, I couldn't even tell you who they were. But when you have a movie back in the mid 90s, almost mid 90s, make a little bit of a salute to them, well, that's something, isn't it? Alright, I'll see if I can try it one more time. Give me 1 second. Sorry about the long wait there. I was traveling from one place to another. Yeah, I know, I'm still having problems with the damn cell phone, but things happen. So, my mother would try to get a balanced perspective on what politics was, from the liberal side and then also the conservative side. And this would also help her to understand how to view the presidents during those times. You know, we had Republicans in the 70s. We also had Democrat. And we had more Republicans. And then we had more Democrats. And the cycle kept kind of flip-flopping back and forth. Each other would attack the politics. They would attack the positions. But they never did go into character assassinations. Not in the past 30 years, 20 to 30 years have I seen this grow. Actually, earlier than that. I think maybe it started in the 90s when you had Bill Clinton doing, former President Bill Clinton getting caught in a certain situation that embarrassed him, embarrassed the country. And the Grand Old Party decided to do a little character assassinations. They also wanted to impeach him. Well, he went through the process, but he didn't get convicted. He did apologize, but he did go through a second term. They still kept the economy down. But it got worse and worse, especially when you had extreme groups coming out there left and right who are saying different viewpoints that aren't true, aren't correct. And at that point, it's a cycle that continues on. It feeds itself into a frenzy. It's like watching the fires grow in an unburned forest that has been left alone for centuries. Ripened fuel. Without anything to stop it. Whoosh. From a small blaze, probably started by a careless camper, or by a lightning bolt, or by some other means, and then out of control. And it takes literally an act of God trying to put the damn thing out. And in the process, how much damage does it do? You're looking at the political process right here as a forest fire out of control. Now, if you want to have real-time examples, look at all the damn forest fires we've been having over the past decades. It's gotten even worse and worse. That's how our politics are. When you attack a woman constantly, just trying to get your political points, you're making something ugly even the worst thing anyone else could do. And then you're laughing about it. It's like you're picking on a woman because you don't like her for one reason or another, and then you have to have support. Like the big coward like you are, you need to have backup because you want to feel so important about it as you attack. And then what happens when you get attacked back? when you get the backlash? Then what happens? This is the constant back and forth we've got right now, as it is. And it's pretty damn crazy is the understatement at this point over here. Try insane. Try insane. And why are we at this point over here? You're probably wondering how come I'm leaning like this in the first place. It's not because I've got a major malfunction here. No, I've got a dog I've got here. The mascot. The Mamas. She who must be obeyed. And she who needs to go out. I know. If one doesn't obey, well, one pays the price. Right? You want to say something? Well, okay, fine. I'll put you down. I'm going to put you down and I'm going to go take care of that, okay? Fine. I'll take you down. I'll take you out in a minute. Well, I won't exactly use her as an example at this point over here, but the one thing I would be using her as, not as a prop, but just a companion dog to my own personal needs at this point over here. Of course, a male dog would have been nice, but I like her. And quite frankly, she's also the product of what's been happening these days. When I discussed about extremism happening these days and things going out of control, she is literally the product of it. When people don't obey things, when they don't take care of things, there are consequences to it. Fireworks in July caused a lot of damage. The damage people don't even see. The damage I've got right now, that I'm penning constantly, is nervous. It is PTSD and terrified of people. Especially those who kept launching at them. Terrified of the night. The damage is something you don't see. You don't hear about. You're oblivious. This is the extremism. This is the extremism at work. They want to do what they want to do. They want to say what they want to say. Regardless of the point they're trying to make. Their own egos are at work. Goes in one ear out of the other ear. They laugh and scoff it off. They'll complain bitterly about it. In this world, there's no civility again. We've lost it. We've lost chivalry as well. We've lost the concepts that we grew up with a long time ago. Because these days, it's the me, and screw you. I get what I get, and that's what it is. Doesn't matter if we're here to help each other or not. Doesn't matter. All for me and screw you. However, if you got something, I want it. You're going to listen to me because I say so. I want a big gathering around me because I think I'm important. It's all about me and hell with you. That's your extremism. Selfish, self-conscious, self-righteous, egotistical. Well, do I dare say the word human beings? Actually, do I dare use those kind of compilation of words right there? Human beings? Because that doesn't exactly describe what a human being is, does it? I know we're most perfect things around here, and we're screwy like crazy, and we cause a lot of damage without even realizing it. And nobody cares. Case in point, I got neighbors. I got siblings of neighbors. I got children of neighbors. They have never been taught those concepts before. Of what I've been trying to describe, they're the me generation. They have yet to be influenced by the older generation who have tried to explain things to them, but unfortunately, because of their own upbringing and their own past, it seems to be more than a challenge, it's more like a war. Now, I know other people will be looking at it and they'll be throwing a hell of a lot of Pandora's boxes at this one here. A lot of booby traps. A lot of triggers for booby traps. A lot of things that blow apart and have uglies come out. But that's our extremism at work. The people who keep claiming that they're holy, that they are of worth, that they are of a religious sort, that they are of a faith-based way of life, and yet demonstrate the most heinous acts, but be oblivious to it all. Yet when called upon and told about it in front of their face and say, look, we're confronting you on this one because you weren't truthful and you're not honest. A lot of people get pissed off over that one. A lot of people get pissed off over that one. They try to use religion to justify. I know everybody is entitled to their own opinions. And this is mine. It's also my observations. Maybe people will call me blind as hell. I don't think so. I just don't see it in the way of a bully. And try to justify things. Blame the victim while you're beating up the victim. It doesn't work that way. It never has. And I doubt it ever will. We're going to be talking about politics in this way. Politics has changed and mutated to a point where we don't even recognize it anymore. People want to go back in the past. Well, I say, it's nice to study the past like crazy, but once you're stuck there, it's kind of hard to look towards the future at this point over here. I know you need the background and you need the context. And at this point, if it's not relating to the current present, then you've got to start from scratch all over again. You've got to rebuild of what things you would like to see, hopefully something positive, without going downhill all the damn time. It's a long way up. I know there's somebody on the side selling tickets and laughing his ass off. Anyway, that's my 2 cents for tonight. I'll be posting this. But keep this in mind. We're all human beings. We all have our fallibilities. We have our own personalities. We have our own beliefs. We have our own ideas of how things theoretically should be. And when reality kicks in and shows us a different way, how are we going to be reacting to that? How should we be reacting to it? How can we? And will we? Do you want the us versus them? Because you're practically afraid of the other side of it, where there's cooperation. So now you start screaming communism, you start sending socialism up the wall, and capitalism's supposed to be it, and everything else is for me, 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 and screw everybody. Got news for you. That kind of logic really pulls up to dictators, and unless you like having your face smashed in by a boot, and believe me, dictators are known to do that. They have someone else wear the other boots to do it, one way or another. Even for those who've worn the boots, usually get the boot. And history is also replete with a lot of examples on that one. So think about that one.